to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome one and all to That Wrestling Podcast. It is I, Brian. I'm back. I was off last week as Jason made sure to let everybody know multiple times that I was not going to be on the pod. And Kevin and Joe are here.
Yo.
Hey, Jason's not here. What do you know? We'll just bring that up the one time, I think. Guys, how we doing? Happy July.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank
Where's
you.
this year gone,
to America. It's not about you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I had to let you finish.
That was to America.
I'm going to let you finish. Yeah.
You gonna let me finish?
Yeah.
No, happy birthday, Brian.
Thank you.
It is his birthday too.
Wow. Yep. Too kind to have me and America share this great day together. That's awesome. But we've got a lot going on to talk about. And I'm just thinking about how much is actually coming up. We're recording this on Wednesday here, the 2nd. Tomorrow is AEW Dynamite 300. Then let's see, the next week is All In, NXT Great American Bash, Evolution, SummerSlam's like a month away. Like, my God, this is just an insane month for wrestling. So we got our hands full, fellas. We ready to dive in?
We're ready to be divorced from our wives because all we're going to be doing is watching wrestling. Yeah, let's go head first.
The life of a podcaster.
Jessica just called herself a wrestling widow.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, let's before we look forward, let's look back. We had Night of Champions on Saturday. It was during the day, so maybe they should have changed it to
mid-afternoon of champions.
Right.
Mid-afternoon of champions.
I was in Arizona, so it was, I think, a 10 a.m. start. So it was like late morning of champions.
Brunch of champions.
We'll pass that on to Hunter and see what he thinks. So yeah, 6 matches on the show. I think it was pretty well received. You had Cody Rhodes winning King of the Ring, Jade Cargill, Queen of the Ring, and John Cena with a little bit of schmozzle with Seth trying to cash in. He ends up keeping his championship. Why don't we start off with just the King and Queen results? Cody as the King, Jade as the Queen. Joe, I'll go to you first. Kind of when you saw these matches play out, what did you think about those decisions?
I thought the right decision was Cody. It makes the most sense. I thought, and especially how they told the story too of Randy couldn't pull the trigger on the punt.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that's future storytelling at its finest. So we'll see where that goes there. Queen of the Ring, though, I gotta say, and it's not because of the picks. It's basically because I think it was a wrong decision. I think Asuka was the better choice. Jade just doesn't do it for me as Queen of the Ring yet. Because she doesn't have a rival, really. She has Naomi, but does she? Because she pretty much dominated that entire rivalry. She won like every match. So Jade and Tiffany doesn't do it for me. I think that's a bad matchup.
Okay.
I don't see that as being a good decision. I think Asuka versus Io, the writing was perfect. It still could happen. But I think having the Empress being the queen of tomorrow would have made more sense.
All right. I think that's some valid points there. Yeah, I mean, it's tough because Jade is kind of being pushed as the big thing. But there's, I think, a lot of great points that you made for the other side of the result. Kev, your stance on Cody and Jade.
Yeah, I 50% agree with Joe, 50% disagree. Cody, 100% aligned. I think the reluctancy for the punt, like, and he's like, and he does like twitch, and he's like, oh, like, thinking about it in his head, like mentally, like going through things, like you felt it, right? You've seen it before, where he doesn't pull the trigger, but you felt it this time. And then you saw him outside the ring after, like staring at Cody, like, man, I should have just taken you out. Like he stood there for like 20, 30 seconds, like just staring at him when given the crown. So that storytelling I love. The reason why I like the Jade pick is because King of the Ring is a launching pad. I think Asuka's already on that launched level, where I think Jade is on her ascent to that level. So I look at it as I don't think Jade is ready to say win that Royal Rumble. Or I might have even picked her to win the Rumble. Who knows? Earlier this year, maybe in the future. But King of the Ring, it doesn't have that pressure of a Mania. Yeah, she'll be one of the highlights of SummerSlam, but I feel like either one of those women could have excelled with wearing that crown. I just think Jade will propel herself a little bit further than Asuka because Asuka's been a champ. She is always going to be amazing. I think there's some added pressure onto Jade now because I feel
Yeah.
like that match at times thought she looked awesome. At times, I feel like she looked a little winded and a little out of place because Asuka is very crafty with her punches, spins, kicks, and I feel like some of those landed pretty damn flush on Jade. And Jade is very, I don't want to say the word stiff. Stiff is a bad word. I feel like she's very punch kick friendly, right?
Okay.
So if Asuka's doing her spins, I don't think Jade moves as quick to get out of them as somebody say like Io or a Liv or someone that's not, I don't know, 5'10", 250 pounds of pure muscle. So I feel
Yeah.
like Asuka might have or Jade might have been slightly out of her league in that match, but I still think the main winner won the match. Plus her throwback to her outfit of Storm from X-Men, I thought was pretty phenomenal. I thought it was very, very cool.
Yeah, Jade is such an interesting one because we've known about her now for I don't know how long it's been, 4 or 5 years since she did AEW. And when she did AEW, like that was her very first actual matches. And she hasn't had a lot of matches in WWE. I bet it's under 20 in the year and a half, I guess, that she's been because she
and
came
singles too.
yeah, exactly. A lot of tag teams, house shows have pretty much gone for the last couple of months. So I'm always kind of watching her with that eye of like, is this gonna look right? I saw a couple people and I didn't care. She went for her pin and she kind of like, instead of arching back, she kind of like went too far back and like fell down and like, if you wanted to be the uber nerd and be like, her shoulders were on the mat too. We had a draw on Monday Night Raw with two shoulders on the mats. So I don't know. But I get what you're saying, Kev. That's usually, at least traditionally, has been like a launching pad for Triple H won King of the Rings, Austin.
But that's the men. There's only been she's
Yeah.
now the third Queen of the Ring. It's like you got Zelina, Nia, and now Jade. I mean, it's not a launching pad for like the Queen of the Ring. That's
Yeah,
what you
they're
guys
still figuring
keep
that
talking
out.
about. You keep saying like it's a launching pad, and you kept saying King of the Ring, King of the Ring. That's different.
Yeah,
Queen of the Ring. There's only been three.
yeah. Maybe
Not a
not enough
launching
of a
pad.
sample size. You're right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
So we had the other matches. I thought Rhea and Raquel killed it. That
Yeah.
was so
Mhm.
good. So good. Solo's your US champ. We have we'll get into the picks in a minute, but a clean X from all of us who had
That was a
Jacob
sweet.
Fatu.
I should
Sweep
I
it
should
up
have
the
went with
poop.
I should have went with my slip up last week and stuck with Solo.
Yeah.
Replay says you still picked Jacob.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I
We
was
had to
like, I picked
finalize it.
Solo.
Yeah.
I mean Jacob, but I should have stuck with my slip up. I should have went with my gut.
I look forward to seeing what happens with that because we were all in unison of saying it's too early to take the title off him. We want to see him have a pretty good long title reign.
But it totally made sense with the
it did.
debut.
Yes.
It totally made sense. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
Did
Just
man.
didn't see that coming.
Tonga Tala.
Or
Yeah.
or maybe a reversal like Tala Tonga, maybe. Yeah, it's something. I'll probably check it out on SmackDown and see how they
He is tall.
fully address it. It was the former Hikuleo, I believe,
Yeah.
was his Japan name.
Makes sense. It makes
Yeah.
sense.
It does. It does. And I tell you, I will say, Solo Sikoa he's had a tough spot in that he, had to replace Roman and that whole thing about being like the new tribal chief. And he did that. And I think I enjoyed it, but I think it was mixed that people thought, sorry, this guy doesn't get it. Especially when Jacob Fatu came on the scene. I think everybody went, you know, everybody has that like new shiny toy one. Look, wait a minute, but look at this guy. This Jacob Fatu's the fucking man. Twippy Award winner for Breakout Performer of the Year.
Yeah.
But I think he's found something. He's got like this little bit of a goofball to him. You know what I'm talking about, Kev?
100%. That's why I was
He's
laughing.
not
I wasn't
super
laughing
dead serious
I
now.
wasn't
There's
laughing
something else more there.
at what you were saying, but like in the post conference, people were eating, and he's like, "What one word? One word, 4 letters,
4 letters, one
stop."
word.
Yeah.
And he's just
Stop.
like,
Yeah, he kind of gives this look like, like what are you doing? So
correct.
he's
He needs to
something's
play-
there.
He needs to continuously be serious, but also be like that, so you get people laughing, but also with the return and debut of the ever increasing bloodline, uh, they need to almost slightly be like that, but then destructive, kind of like DX, the second generation of DX, right?
This is
Versus
now
the
the third
Shawn.
one.
Say
Yeah.
what?
This is now the third version of DX.
No, but I'm saying more like non-traditional OG bloodline, right?
Right.
Because it's going to continuous to be like that. Jacob's too big to be in it. So I thought the match was great. I thought the destruction at the end, I was surprised. Like, I was surprised more because usually there's one of us will think a little bit crazy, but it's never to the point where we're all wrong. I'll have to go back and see how many times this year we were all 100% wrong.
Yeah. That's a rarity. I mean, there's 5 of
And
us
we were
every
so-
time.
We were so close to going for back to back.
With which one?
Jason's picks.
Okay. Oh,
Because
right,
he only
right.
got one right.
Yeah,
But
yes.
the thing is, he 6 matches and he had one right. I had 4 matches and I lost all 4. But if you counted the
The bonus
Worlds
picks.
Collide,
Yeah.
I went 1-6 as well. So technically, he can't give me anything anymore about that. But
He's
I
not
was-
here this week, so we'll allow it. I know he
I w-
would
I
have
went-
something to say about it if he was here. Sorry.
I did check the picks. This was the only time all year that we outside of bonus picks. Bonus kind of
Yeah.
get a little crazy, and it's
That's
like
fine.
pick of the litter type thing. The only time a real match
Wow.
that
Well,
we've
shout
all
out to
5
Solo.
gotten wrong. Several times we've all gotten it right. The
Yeah.
first
Right.
time we've always gotten it. Not a solo pick was correct.
Look at that.
There.
Well done, my friend.
That was
What-
example of 100% all gas, no brakes because we ran it to the wall of bad pick on
Yeah.
I mean, all gas,
All
no
brakes, no
brains.
gas. Yeah.
Yeah.
We ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Any other highlights or lowlights that you had from this one, Joe?
I felt like the main event was overbooked. It was kind of ridiculous. It kind of towards the end made it like I was listening
Okay.
to like it was way too much run-ins. It reminded me of like late 90s, early 2000s, like Attitude Era WWE/WCW. Just throw all the shenanigans out there. Ref bump and then all that. It was too much. I didn't think the match was really doing it for me at the time. I think they were both kind of slow. I mean, they're older. That's just the way it is. But Seth's explanation on Monday made sense. It's like, well, I wasn't going to try to cash in because I even said when I was watching it on Saturday, why isn't he in his gear? Why was he in his street clothes if he's coming down there to cash in? That
Good
didn't
point.
make any sense. But him explaining that his goal was to make sure CM Punk never wins a championship, that made more sense to me. But Penta pulling a Jeff Hardy debut in AEW.
Yes. It's
What
not
was
time
that?
for the walk, Penta. Help your guy
It's like,
out
okay,
here.
I'm gonna walk really slow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do all my stuff. Like you're supposed to be coming down. Like the psychology of it was too overproduced.
Fair.
I thought it was a very weak main event, and I thought the show overall was mid. It was probably
Okay.
one of their worst PLEs of the year.
All right.
One thing that wasn't mid though, that crowd loves their WWE theme song singing.
Yes.
I'll say that. They felt
Only for
that was-
the first match and the last match, nothing else.
well, not many other songs have the main words.
True.
Yeah,
but
Jacob Fatu doesn't have words.
Yeah, but I saw a lot of people going.
They were doing the boogie.
They were,
Yeah.
they were doing the werewolf convulsions.
Yeah.
But I thought honestly those crowds are usually pretty electric. I thought the Nightmare shirt was pretty cool with the city. Thought that was really cool. I never saw one that was green. Crowd was just hot.
Hmm.
I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, Penta walking down slow. I thought that was kind of funny. It
Yeah.
was.
Time and
Uh,
place, Penta. Time and
I
place.
just I I just hope that wasn't the last time we see those two. If it was, I feel like it was kind of like the excitement level, and then it's like eating a meal that just overloaded with salt. Like, ooh, this it
Mm,
looked
a little
good, but
too
it
much.
tasted a little gross, too much.
They put
Um,
too much spice on it. Then Triple H did say it was their last match.
That's how it's been
oh,
billed. Yeah. Yeah.
that's doo doo.
I watched the 2011 Money in the Bank match about a week prior, and so much of that match on Saturday was the callbacks to the 2011 match. So I enjoyed it from that perspective of the nostalgia stuff. Um, you know, Charles Robinson getting
Oh
absolutely
God,
murdered.
I love that
That
part.
was also part of that was Cena doing that to John Laurinaitis in the
Yeah,
11 one where he came down to like ring the bell or something and Cena just decked the shit out of him. So, I enjoyed it from that point. But yeah, maybe a little much to just not just have those two guys do it and see how it plays out. Well, Kev, we know one match where we all got it wrong, but how did the rest of the picks turn out, and where are the standings as of
oh,
today?
for sure. Just for Night of Champions, Jason did get a point. Yeah, so that good for him. Hey, 15 point something percent, 1 out of 6. That's pretty awesome. Uh,
Womp womp womp
for
womp.
Jason. I'll give him credit. He does hit the 20-point mark. This is the fastest through 6 months
Seven
of the
months.
6 months of the year
Yeah,
hitting, or through 6 months of the year, through one half of the year, he's already at 20 points. That's awesome. So I'll
keep it
give him
up,
a
buddy.
big credit.
Yes.
He's at 20 points. To be honest, guest picker didn't do extreme amounts better. He went 3 for 6. He's at 25.
Okay.
CJ.
Yep.
Brian's at 29 points overall. Joe's at 29 points overall. And I maintain the lead with 32.
Ooh,
Yep.
okay.
You
Three
gained one.
point lead. Okay. All right. Not insurmountable, but a
I should have
little bit
had
of a
my
cushion there.
prediction at the beginning of the year. I would come from behind and win back to back.
I know. You're
Like the
working on a
Detroit Pistons,
dynasty here.
like the
Look at
bad
this.
boys of the picks.
A lot of time left. A lot of
Well,
time.
there's a lot of time left, and there's a lot of time and a lot of future John Cena championship matches we're gonna predict on. So that's a lot of fun.
Hmm.
One throwback fun thing, I did like it when he hugged CM Punk at the end and he stared right into the camera. Thought that was kind of fun. So I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, but then it was
And
a
thankfully, Punk wasn't an idiot and didn't let him kick
exactly.
him. Yeah.
But that was kind
So
of fun. That was
it
kind of fun.
was. Monday Night Raw, we have new tag champs. The Judgment Day. Finn and JD take it from the New Day. Guys, just when I kind of feel like Judgment Day has like run its course and Finn, like, it's time for a breakup. They go and do this, and now we got Roxanne as officially a tag champ and everything, and here we are now, guys. I mean, I don't know what just when I'm ready to write it off, they're like back in Dom's IC champ. What do you make of this? Is this like you know, or almost maybe another resurgence of Judgment Day, or more of a, maybe the New Day heel run just hasn't gone, as well as maybe it had when it started.
I
I
say
think
yes to
that
both of those.
Okay.
I think Liv getting hurt and then putting the tag title on Roxanne, I
Mm-hmm.
think mixed up creative a little bit, and they wanted to make them more of a dominant faction. I bet you it was all because of Liv getting hurt.
Mm.
I think if Liv didn't
Yeah,
get
maybe.
hurt, I feel that maybe they wouldn't have put the titles. I feel like it was a switch around just so each member of now Judgment Day is wearing gold,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't
Yeah.
have Liv, who's quite honestly your number one star female of Judgment Day. Dom, yes, he might be the most heat stricken guy, but Liv is undeniable. So how else do you get Judgment Day on top? Give every single one of them a title. Thought the match was great.
It was
I
fun.
think Xavier Woods wearing the tights Like that's kind of like switching up to. I feel like he's the star power. I think is being elevated on Xavier Woods, and the Miz took that extra step. I don't think they're going to break up, but I feel like the way Miz went from shorts to the tights, Xavier Woods went from the pants to the tights. Maybe in the near future, maybe he'll have that propelled to the singles run. So we'll see.
And
We'll
Joe,
see.
you were saying yes to both as well as how I put that.
Yeah, because I felt like that the New Day heel run started off like, okay, let's see how it goes, but it hasn't been good. It's been a failure. We can admit that now. It's there. I don't know where you go with them.
Yeah.
Now, do you have Xavier Woods go solo? You can try it, but I just don't think that this New Day worked. So it was time to just like, give them another run, but they didn't do anything. They never defended the titles. They just sat in the back talking to Grayson Waller.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I think that was time to move them on. I like this version of the Judgment Day. This reminds me of, do you remember the Judgment Day was Edge
I
Yeah.
know. That's how long it's
and
been.
Damian Priest
Hmm.
and then Rhea, and that was it. And then
Eventually, Rhea.
Finn
Yeah.
joined in and took out, like, you go through all the versions of Judgment Day.
Right.
This is what NWO should have been. Instead of adding more, you subtract and then add. You keep the number small so it has longevity. I think they figured that out. It took only like 30 years to do that, but it's like, but the Four Horsemen did it too.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
subtract, but then you
Right.
add with that. You keep it small to keep the faction going. When you add on too many, it just turns into nothing. I mean, like
Yeah.
Damian Priest, like, do you remember him in Judgment Day? Yeah, sure, but he's moved on now.
Right.
Rhea definitely has moved on now. I like this version. I think they're setting us up for the breakup still though. I think Finn is going to turn on Dom sooner rather than
Mm,
later. I think
okay.
Finn is going to attack Dom, but they're both still going to be heels.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be a fan favorite of that one. If anyone's going to be a fan favorite, it'll be Finn.
I think,
So,
yeah, if only if in that scenario, only if like Dom completely like rejects Roxanne's advances, if that continues on, that like would he get like the hero's welcome of like
no, Finn and
I'm sticking
Roxanne
with
are going to be together.
right, and that's fine. But yeah, I'm just saying if in that scenario, that'd be one way I could see the fans going like, yeah, he's stuck with Liv. He is a good guy, but that's probably not for a little bit if that does happen. Yeah, it's interesting how that played out, and I think with the New Day, it started off great. I mean, they were getting booed like crazy, but the fact that Big E hasn't been a part of it at all
That's the
since it's
problem.
ever, it was like that's what we were all, I think, clamoring for, and it hasn't happened, and that's kind of just where do you go? So I think that's where that lies. Do we have definitive proof that El Grande Americano is not Chad Gable? Chad, on the shelf, he had a shoulder surgery, and American Alpha was getting interviewed, and then what do you know? There was Grande Americano, guys. I think is that the proof we needed to finally shut up the naysayers?
Yeah, obviously. Well, we've all known that it wasn't Chad Gable. He's been saying it for weeks, but he kind of like I never noticed. Maybe it was just because it's summertime and been at the pool more, been a little bit more active. But Grande Americano kind of had the same physique as Ludwig Kaiser,
Little bit, yeah, yeah.
a little bit,
I can
but
see
like
what you're saying.
it's obviously not Ludwig Kaiser because Ludwig's not Americano, so it's
Right.
obviously not him. So Grande Americano is still in play while Chad get well soon.
I think
Was
they
it
did.
Omar still?
I'm still waiting for
That's
Omos to reveal himself. I think you know what they do with Omos too, or at least they, yeah, I haven't seen him on TV in a minute, but they used to have the cameraman be like super low to make him look so tall. They kind of did that with Grande this week. He was taller than any time I've ever seen him before.
yeah.
And I figured, okay, that was just the cameraman Ivy Nile's pretty short. They were going low to make the team look bigger. So that's kind of
Well,
where
they
my
were at the
logic was
paint
with that.
can. He could have been standing on a paint can.
Yeah, that's the tricks of the trade, right? We don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, get well soon, Chad Gable, like you said, Joe. I mean, Kev, is that all the proof we needed for you? For you?
I think magnifying glass or magnifying lens, Grande looked like Grande.
Yeah,
A
some
little bit thinner though. A little bit thinner. A little bit
Still
more.
ripped.
Still ripped, but a little
very
bit
ripped.
thinner.
I just want to see a battle royal where 30 people are dressed up as Grande Americano.
The El Grande Battle
The
Royal.
Hell yeah.
cosplay.
El Grande battle royal. Yes.
Somebody was using the Starbucks reference of how Grande seemed to look a little taller. That like what is this a venti Americano or whatever, with a larger size. I think is how that goes.
Yes.
Not a big Starbucks guy myself. I don't. You guys
How
are
dare
both
you?
coffee
How dare
guys
you?
though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like Folgers, man. I'm cheap.
Yeah.
No.
I
You
don't
got
drink my dollars away. I expend them on other things.
Life's too short to drink cheap coffee. I thought, Kev. No,
that's my saying. Life
that's
is too
right.
short to drink cheap anything.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I agree.
Brian. You
Yes,
started
yeah,
that, and
exactly.
now it's turned into all beverages for me.
There you go. There you go. The proof is right there. Let's talk about the lead up to next week's Evolution. This is Evolution 2. I'm sure we'll talk a lot more about it next week. I mean, I guess we need to do predictions next week. It's a PLE. I mean,
Yeah,
I
we
guess we
do.
could.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we do.
So we'll have that for you. It's like I
Woo-wee.
was off last week. We're back doing predictions again this coming week. Um, I examined this as I was typing up the rundown as going like, is this a product of we just talked Night of Champions? There's also Saturday night's main event coming up. There's NXT Great American Bash. There's so much. And Evolution, it's like it seems like it was on the back burner a little bit. And maybe, we're only just over a week away now, but the card you've got Rhea Ripley versus Io. There's a battle royal for a future title match, a tag title match with, of course, Raquel and Roxanne, and a team from each of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Jordan Grace and JC Jane is announced. And I don't know if it's been official, the Becky, Bailey, Lyra
Not
thing.
official, but you can see the writing on the wall. And
Yeah.
if you saw any of the spoilers from tonight's SmackDown, another
Okay.
match has been announced as well.
Okay. So, and that's all right. So, yeah, there you are. That's going to be airing on 4th July, basically a week from the show. Knowing how big of a deal was the first one, like, are you guys getting this feeling of like this is lost in the shuffle because there is such a big show right before it, and next week is this and that?
I personally feel that it's either we're getting regurgitated stuff we've seen or things that are being thrown at the last minute. Like we got Io versus Rhea
Yeah.
made on Monday night, right? We're gonna get the tag title match. Unfortunately, that was with Liv getting hurt. That was just a bummer
Yeah.
type situation. But it kind of like took a lot of wind pulled out of it. Like I was watching little videos from the setup of the first one where we had was a Nikki versus Ronda. And Ronda or Nikki was talking about all her accomplishments and knocking down the door. And then you get Ronda mentioning the only door you knocked down was John Cena's bedroom. Like that was like one of the best things leading up to it. I feel like the event's gonna be good. Like all the ladies announced for it's gonna be great. But I
Yeah.
feel that with the push for more and more women's matches on a lot of these PLEs, I feel like we're just getting a double or what made it feel so special on that first one, I feel like is almost like an extended PLE that we would get minus one or two guys matches, if that makes sense. Because it's what it basically is going to be. I hope I'm wrong. I want to be totally, totally taken away by how amazing it's going to be. I just feel like it's just getting kind of lost in the shuffle with everything that's going on of what all the 4 or 5 cards that you mentioned,
Right.
that's going to be in the next month.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels a little different. Joe?
I kind of disagree a little bit with Kevin. I'm I see where you're coming from with this one with the build. I agree with you on that one. But when it comes down to it, this PLE is in the summer. Evolution the last time years ago was October, which is like such a dead spot
Oh, that's a
of
fair point.
That's
PLEs.
Yeah.
This is the PLE before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Now, if the last Evolution was the PLE before WrestleMania, then you have a point. But this one is the last one before the big, like the summer version of WrestleMania. I think it's in a prime spot, and I think it should be in that spot from now on, is the July PLE. Having Saturday Night's Main Event, it's good idea because what do you think they're going to be promoting on NBC
For the very next
the
day.
entire night?
Yeah.
They're going to be
Hmm.
promoting Evolution. I think that this Evolution is going to get more promotion than the last one. Because the last one you mentioned, the Ronda Rousey, like, Nikki Bella match. That's all I really remember from that one.
Yeah, I was thinking for next week we'll have to look at what the card was for the first
yeah.
evolution because
And
it's
I
been
remember it wasn't that good of a match either.
no. Okay.
So I think this is in a prime real estate when it comes to where Evolution should be at. I
Yeah.
just don't think I agree with Kevin in the fact that it doesn't really the build hasn't been that great. But I do
Yeah.
love the fact that we're getting Rhea versus Io at Evolution because if it was set up for them to be at SummerSlam, we wouldn't get Io versus Asuka, which will probably steal the show at SummerSlam. And
Hmm.
that's my prediction of we're
Early
going to get
prediction
Io
there.
and Asuka at SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's cool. I'm glad NXT has representation on this.
Hmm.
I like that with Rhea versus Io. They've already talked about Rhea Ripley's never beaten Io Sky. Like
Yeah.
that's cool. There's cool things that are coming together for it. But yeah, I just had a little bit of a different vibe on it all. But like you said, Joe, Saturday night's main event's gonna be pumping that up big time.
Hmm.
Real quick, let's touch on some rumor and innuendo of AEW upcoming free agents. We've seen a lot lately with like Mariah May, now Blake Monroe, Ricky Starks, Ricky
You
Saints.
got it right.
The I what, shocking or
Yeah.
hey, it's my birthday week. I got to do something right here.
Whoop whoop.
Good times. But the names that I saw mentioned two acts that are apparently almost about to happen imminently. Danhausen and Private Party. And then the third one is a before the end of the year situation. Chris Jericho. I put it to you guys, Kevin first.
Yeah.
Those three acts, rank them in order of who you would want to see go to WWE and why.
Okay. Uh, I'll go. Who I would want to see first would
Yeah.
be Private Party. And
Whoa.
I'm thinking the banner of WWE. Like I'm thinking could go to NXT just
Oh, of
under
course.
the
Yeah.
WWE
Yeah.
banner.
That's what we're
Uh,
saying.
Super young guy, saw him on the Jericho Cruise. Amazing athletes that I just don't think get enough time that they truly deserve. I think they would do amazing things in NXT, and they're both just so talented. Second, Jericho, just because I would want to see him finish his career in WWE, right?
Yeah.
Danhausen, never been a Danhausen fan, so
Oh,
I
That's
enjoy him.
very
He makes
evil
me
of you.
laugh,
we
but
got Haterhausen over here.
I just feel that you would just out of those three, I had to think of a reason why I
That's
wouldn't
fine.
want him as one or two. Uh, and that's all I can think of. He's
Yeah.
fun. I like him. But I just feel like in a span of who I think could do amazing things in WWE to, the nostalgia factor, finishing your career, getting that WWE Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
and then Danhausen.
All right. Same to you, Joe.
Number one, Jericho, but only to get the WWE Hall of Fame, not to be an active competitor.
Okay. Fair. Fair.
Uh, I think they could make a deal where he can still do his cruise, but have it be under the WWE banner instead of
Mm,
the TKO banner instead of AEW. I think that would make it a little bit more worthwhile. Number two would be Private Party because the tag division always needs established teams.
okay. Fair.
And 3, this was very evil of me as well, would be Danhausen, but I don't have him going to the WWE at all. I have him going to AAA
Oh, well,
to face the Lizard,
yeah, to Mr.
Mr.
Iguana,
Iguana.
or
Mr. Iguana. Yeah,
what does Jay call him? Like Lizard Man, I think.
Lizard Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Danhausen is not he's an entertaining character,
Yeah.
but not a big league character. I'm
Mm,
sorry, he's not. It's like that makes me like, very nice, very evil. And he didn't do anything in AEW at all.
right.
And I think it's funny that you're like, Kevin's like, oh, he's not for me, but you're wearing an Orange Cassidy shirt, which is very similar.
Oh, Orange
The
Cassidy,
difference
man.
is-
Yeah, he would be my number one
but the
draft.
difference is Orange Cassidy can wrestle. Danhausen just gets injured.
And that was my thing, is like, if you want to play the quick, name your favorite Danhausen match. Like, I don't know. I've probably seen him wrestle like once. Like,
Your favorite
it's-
moment of Danhausen is meeting him.
I
waiting
know.
for your Matt Cardona autograph.
Exactly.
Like, that's-
Yes. So there is that whole question about like, can he wrestle? Right? I don't know. So. I still have him as my number one though, because I want to see it. I want to see it, and I'm glad that we all had different ones.
Yeah, it's great.
We know he can be entertaining. We know that it would fit in. I think WWE naturally is more of a embrace of comedy in their programming, unbeknownst to what he's doing now. Of course, R-Truth stuff, Carlito. There's a fit there. There's some sort of fit. It's just, can we get something in the ring too? Number 2, you guys kind of hit it on both points with Chris Jericho, like Hall of Fame, special, he gets the Roman schedule where he works like 3 events a year. Cool. We don't need the weekly Chris Jericho thing anymore. Just, have a nice ending of the WWE banner. Totally fine. So I put Private Party last. They've never really done it for me. I think they would be a good signing. I think they're younger guys. And I don't know. There was something that never grabbed me in AEW. Like they when they have wrestled, I think they put on good performances, but just they don't even have, to me, where you look at a tag team and go, ooh, this guy could be the star of the team. Like I see these guys, like they're both fine. I haven't seen anything that even gives me that, like, okay, but this is the guy of the team. So like, I'm going to watch these guys and be invested in them. So that's kind of my dilemma with those guys too. I would not, I think WWE should sign them because of those reasons. Like you said, but hey, get more great tag teams in the division. I think they're younger guys. You can build stuff with them. But if they don't show up, I don't think I'd be like, boy, they're missing out.
You're not invited to their private party.
I'm not.
You don't have a ticket.
I mean, I don't think any, like, in reality, I don't think any of them should be signed at all. Like
At
Jericho only for like the Hall of
The
Fame,
nostalgia
like,
part.
not to wrestle. Like
Right.
I don't think any of them are really WWE TKO anymore.
Like a Legends contract.
Yeah, for
Sure.
Jericho, just get merchandising and some like Hall of Fame for next year in Vegas. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
But
no,
You'll see a lot of clipboards in WrestleMania time.
the list is back.
$99.
Tony Khan, you're on the list. Yeah. I hear you. It's definitely different than when we were like, what's up with Ricky Starks? And Mariah May's a free agent? Like those two, you're like, okay, there's something here. These 3 maybe not quite on different levels than those ones. AEW Dynamite is actually, I might have said it's tomorrow early in the show. It's today. It's right now. In a half an hour from now. So we won't be able to cover AEW 300. I'm sure we'll talk everything all in next week, since that is a big show. I thought we would split it down the middle, because I'm sure we've done shows where we've talked about like the 100th episode or, the 2-year anniversary, those things. I thought kind of, not exactly a big momentous thing. Like it's episode 150 of Dynamite. Let's take a look at that's the halfway point from when it
All right.
started to right now.
Yeah.
Kind of let's see what the card was for episode 150. Episode 150, guys, was August 17th of 2022, so almost 3 years ago. The show was in Charleston, West Virginia. And the match or the show started, and I only have I'll see if I can keep finding, but the site I found the matches, right? So I'll see if I can find a little bit more of like this happened on the show backstage. The show started off with a 2 out of 3 falls match with Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia. The first Oh no! All three matches went 26 minutes and 16 seconds. Daniel Garcia won the first fall, and Bryan Danielson won the next 2. Then we had a 30-second match between the Gun Club and the Varsity Blondes, Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. They went from like an epic 2 out of 3 to a 30-second match. We had Toni Storm, which it's like, wow, she's been in AEW that long. Toni Storm defeats Kylan King. I'm guessing that's like a independent person they brought in. 6 minutes, 49 seconds. She wasn't timeless at that point. And then the final match, your main event, I believe, was the AEW World Trios Title Tournament first round match.
Oh my.
And it was the Elite, which is Kenny Omega and Matt and Nick Jackson. And they defeated Andrade, Dragon Lee, and Roosh in a 20-minute, 54-second match. My first thought on that is, do they still have the trios titles? Because I have no idea who the trios champion would be. I think they merged it with Ring of Honor, and I'm not the biggest AEW guy, but I can't remember the last time I saw that on TV. Any other memories or thoughts on what I shared with you guys?
The only thing I remember out of that was Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia. It was the Jericho Appreciation Society trying to get him to leave the Appreciation Society to join Bryan Danielson, and it didn't work out, and then and then he started dancing like an idiot, so that pretty much went nowhere.
Right.
And the Trios Championship, that was memorable because they ended that tournament at All Out, which turned into the Presser.
Yes.
Where I work with children. So, yeah, it was the sign of things to come, I guess. I don't know.
Interesting.
I think we move on. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think we move on.
Yeah, I can't. I'm just finding like message boards. I'm not finding like, a million other things that happened. So, seemed like it was an okay show at the time, but not one for the record books like maybe 300 would be.
300 is a big deal.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They should make it a big deal. And like I said, I'm sure there's a lot happening with it with All In next week. So we'll talk more about that next week on the pod. We are going to take a look back, though, much more recent times, because, here we are now, the first days of July. We're officially halfway into 2025, which also, guys, have you seen this too about the, as of, I think, 12:01 on July 1st, we are officially closer to the year 2050 than we were the year 2000.
Yeah, it's wild.
If you want to feel old, there's your tip for you.
My back tells me I'm old, but that makes me feel even older.
You don't need that, but yeah, damn.
I will be 71.
Oh my God.
And your hair looks already like you're 71.
Oh, you're one to talk.
God
your beard.
damn.
I know. Hey, I'm only 68, okay?
Right.
You'll only be 68.
Shave that beard. You take off 15 years, bro.
Well,
Just
You
say
look
it.
my
like, you
beard
look like
is
that
weird.
old school Emmett Smith commercial. Your beard is weird.
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
All right. Okay, so what I was leading into, So since we're halfway in the year,
Oh, yeah, there's a point.
one of, if not our first show of
There's
the
a
year,
point
we
to
do our
this.
predictions of 2025. So this is kind of the check-in, right? Joe is a teacher. You do progress reports. Let's see how
Oh,
the
yeah.
kids are doing so far, you know? So that's what we're going to do with this and look at our predictions and see if any of them have come to fruition or, you know, if they still have some time to happen here. We'll start with Jason. He isn't here, so I'll go with his. His first prediction, Ricky Starks will go to WWE.
He was right.
Well, I think it's Ricky Saints, so I'll give him half a point. No,
Give him a full point. Give him a full point. And it's not
Ding, ding,
WWE,
ding,
it's
ding, ding,
NXT.
ding.
I'm fucking around. Yes, that's a point. His second
I know, I'm
one,
taking his side. Jeez.
second one was Andrade will win Money in the Bank. He did
He
not,
was in the
but he
match?
was in the match, so you know,
But he didn't win, so
No.
0.
nope, 0 points. But you know,
Hey,
okay,
1 for 2 is pretty good for predictions.
1 for 2. This third one, this one. How about this one, guys? He has Cardi B. Cardi B will wrestle at WrestleMania. That didn't happen, but she is hosting SummerSlam. So, you know,
weird.
in theory, she could still be getting in the ring. So another
But
one that
not-
it's not
not
a
at
point, but
WrestleMania.
there's something there.
I'll say this,
I will say that.
creativity for that prediction
Right.
might be an all-time prediction. If she actually gets in the ring at SummerSlam, can you imagine Jason be like, "Why didn't I fucking say SummerSlam? I could have gave her more months or
Right.
just all year."
No,
Yeah.
we don't need it. We don't need him having any more ammunition of I picked Roman to beat Cody and I picked
Oh, it would have
Sammy
happened.
to beat Gunther. We don't need that.
No.
Because
But
who knows? Like he may not be on the show after next week. Next week could be
right.
a swan song.
Thanks to Goldberg.
So he's 1 for
Goldberg.
3.
Yeah,
1 for 3.
He's got
He's
one for
done.
three.
His predictions are done.
well, he's got 2 more.
Well, no, his predictions are done though, because Money in the Bank win already, and so did WrestleMania.
No, but
oh,
Yeah, well, yeah,
there's
those
a total
two.
of 5.
Yeah, he gave 5 predictions. Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
shit!
what
Okay, 1
He's
for
got
3.
2 more. Excuse me.
Gotcha.
One of them is John Cena will win the tag titles this year. So
Maybe.
hasn't
Those can
happened
happen.
yet.
Those got
Probably
6 months?
unlikely, but you know, it's not done. And this other one, you know, maybe as soon as 2 weeks from now, AJ Lee returns. Could that be an evolution thing?
Maybe.
no,
Maybe.
No,
So-
I don't think
So we
that's
could go
gonna
3
happen.
for 5. Hey, that's
could.
60%. Joe,
could.
that's a D. Still passing.
That is a D. That yes, that is a
That's
60%. That is still passing.
All right. So let's move on to Kevin. Kevin,
Oh,
Sheamus will become a Grand Slam champ.
Still
got
time.
time.
Again, still time. I hilariously said, does that mean he'll be the speed champion before the year's up? And we said, no, Intercontinental. This next one, Kev, you ready? You're sitting down?
I'm sitting down.
CM Punk will headline WrestleMania in a triple threat with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins.
Did I really?
Swear to God.
Hey, that's one.
The floor is yours. They all
I
count the
was-
same, Joe. You're right. But
This
come
is up
on.
for Twippy prediction of the year.
You didn't say which night though, so
You
technically
shut your fucking mouth. That was headlining, baby.
You didn't say
partial
which
credit.
night.
Partial credit.
You get half a no. You get the full point. Nice.
I popped,
nice,
Kev.
nice
When I
prediction.
heard
I
that,
think that's my
I
only
went, you
time
gotta
I've
be
ever made a
shitting me.
prediction right. Because I don't think I've ever made a prediction right in the history of these yearly predictions.
Let's see how the rest goes.
You got 2.
Uh-oh.
You got 2 more. The third one is Will Hobbs will join the Hurt Syndicate. Hasn't happened
I
yet.
still got 6 months.
Still have time. And this last one. Ready?
I'm ready.
Roxanne Perez on the main roster this year will get a title before the end of the year. Unbelievable.
It was handed to her though.
Got
Come
that
on.
title. She got the
Well, she
title.
has to, I think she has to defend it.
Give me 40%.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right,
Yeah.
so you got half. So you got 2 out of 4.
2 out of 4, Kev. Pretty damn
Man,
good. All right. Joe, over to you.
Okay, mine suck.
Your number 1 is John Cena will go into the Hall of Fame. The Hall of
Not
Fame is come
happening.
and gone. Yeah.
Nope, didn't happen.
Number 2, Roman Reigns will be only on Monday Night Raw.
He was on one episode of SmackDown. That's where they did the signing, so that is also wrong.
Okay. Yeah, that one I was like, he hasn't really
It was
been
the
on much at
contract.
all. So
It was a contract signing. As soon as they announced it, they were doing the contract signing of WrestleMania on SmackDown. I'm like, well, there went that.
there goes that. Okay. Your third prediction, Gunther will not have the championship at WrestleMania. He will lose it at Elimination Chamber. So
Ouch.
there's
0 for
just a
3.
touch off there. You had him losing to Roman. So it had been Roman and Gunther at Elimination Chamber, and then the main event at WrestleMania you said would be Roman and CM Punk.
Well, yeah, he was in the main event with CM Punk.
Again,
but not
yeah,
for the
you kind of
title.
work around there a little bit.
Yeah,
And
no,
so
0
there's
for
something
3.
there. But are you done? You're done.
I think I only
too.
made 3. Yeah, I'm
Damn.
done.
Yeah, I meant like you're 0 for 3 officially. Like some of those other ones, like, well, there's still time.
Joe for 3 for my Joe
Damn,
for 4
Joe.
Money in the Bank.
Jam, Joe. Not good. All right. Mine. I have 4. Okay. Number 1, Axiom and Nathan Frazier will be main roster tag champs before the end of the year. Still some time. They're on the main roster. I think they've had a title match and it got interrupted. So we'll see on that one. Jordan Grace will sign with the WWE. She will be in the final 4 of the Royal Rumble. That I don't think happened.
She wasn't.
No.
She signed, but she wasn't in the final 4. She
No.
was in the Rumble.
She was in the Rumble.
She was in the Rumble, but she was not in the final 4.
Yeah. My number 3, AEW creates women tag titles.
They could be coming.
Hasn't happened yet. Yep. I've
Mercedes
seen other.
does need another title.
Yep. I've seen some online buzz about they have maybe want to do that. So, we'll put that one in the pile. And finally, Samantha Irvin will become the manager for Ricochet this year. Hasn't happened. Still got 6 months.
Doesn't need a manager.
I'd say I would at the evaluation point, I'd say I don't think that's gonna happen.
If that happened, that would be a terrible thing because he's finally got personality and he's finally got a character that's worth following on his own.
Yeah. So still some up in the airs, but
like Kevin Garnett says, anything is possible.
That's right.
Anything is possible.
All right.
Never thought I'd be on a boat.
All right. So then, real quick, does anybody have a spot of the week? Jason's spot of the week is Charles Robinson getting just crushed by John Cena.
Yeah, that was mine.
We just let's say
he flew.
That was fucking great.
It was beautiful.
We're gonna call that spot of the year far.
That's certainly a nominee for spot of the year.
Because he was booking it, like for someone that old to like be running that fast down the road. I was like really impressed with his speed, and then he got killed. Yeah.
So kudos to him because he knew he was going to get laid out, and he still ran so fast. But that shoulder, I'll have to go back and see if Cena launched or if he just gave him a shoulder. But he literally bounced off him and landed.
Tweet the next day of "I'm alive."
Yeah,
that was the best part is the tweet that said "I'm alive."
And guys, holy shit! According to Wikipedia, so a bit of a grain of salt. Today, July 2nd, is his birthday. So Charles Robinson, you absolutely deserve.
Okay, how old is he then?
Brian? He is now 61.
Yep, I said he was 60, so 60-year-old man.
Yesterday you would have been correct, Joe. Today, 61. Wow. Good for him, man.
Taking bumps and almost getting that letter for AARP in the mail.
That's why
that's why they call him Lil Nate. He just doesn't know when to quit.
I can't wait for him to see Goldberg backstage and say, "Hey, kid, you ready for your match?" Wow.
I just hope Goldberg doesn't give a concussion to Gunther. That's all I care about.
We'll see. We got next week to watch and find out. All right. Well, we will get ready to say goodbye. Jason, of course, was not here, But he did note that today, or this episode, is the 250th episode of That Wrestling Podcast. So we're not nearly making a big deal out of it like episode 300 of Dynamite. And again, Jason not being here.
But we are going to look at episode 125 right now.
So I was going to say, let's roll it back.
Let's roll it back. And it started off with, I was wrong. Jason insulted me. And yeah, there we go.
I don't think CM Punk should hit Tony Khan. I don't know what happened. Oh, wow. So yeah, 250 guys. High five through the camera to both of y'all. That's awesome. And we'll keep it going as we do here on That Wrestling Podcast. For Joe, for Kevin, and Jason, who will be back next week, we do believe. I'm Brian. It's, again, at That WrestlePod for social media, whatamaneuver.net for merchandise, and youtube.com/That Wrestling Podcast. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy your wrestling. We will talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Follow That WrestlePod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3, that's it!